Hi, my name is Hannah Graham, and today I'll be conducting a personal training session as part of my practical simulation assessment through AIPT. So I've pre-organised with my client today, her name is Tina. We've organised the time and place of here, previously before today. So before she arrives, I have checked the area for any risks or hazards, and the area is free of any risks and hazards. I've checked all the equipment today to make sure that it is safe to use, and I've also set up the area ready to go for us for today. So there's no other gym users today, it would just be us today. I think Tina's actually just arrived, so I'll just get ready to greet her. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. How are you feeling today?
Oh, I'm a bit nervous, but not too bad.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a fantastic session. All right, so if you want to come take a seat, I'm going to run through some, just some legality, like pre-exercise questionnaires and health and fitness questions.
Yep. Just
for me to be able to gauge what fitness and level and ability you're at.
Yep.
And if there's anything that comes up in the exercise questionnaire. So thanks for coming and meeting me here today.
Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. So today we'll be conducting a fitness test. So before we do that, we'll do a pre-exercise questionnaire, which will let me know of any injuries or illnesses or anything that I need to know before we do any exercise. Yep. After that, we'll then be doing some strength exercises, some cardio, and in that cardio, we'll be doing some innovative cardio, which I'll explain to you a bit later. And then we'll just do some stretches at the end of that, and then we'll debrief about the session.
Yep.
So I just need to ask you a few questions before we start. Now, if something does come up in the pre-exercise questionnaire, with your permission, we can work with your GP and then be able to get a clearance for you to be able to perform certain exercises.
Yep.
But that's what this questionnaire is for, so we'll work that out. Okay, so are you currently doing any exercise?
Just netball once a week.
Netball once a week, awesome. And so do you enjoy doing netball, obviously?
I do enjoy netball. I had my first class, my first game yesterday.
Yep.
And I haven't played since I was a little girl, so...
Oh, awesome.
It was a bit nerve-wracking, but it wasn't too bad.
Oh, that's good.
It took a lot out of me.
All right, well, so what's motivated you to come to me today?
Just to get fit and build a bit of upper body strength, because I have a very low upper body strength, so I want to build on that.
Awesome. Okay, so so today what we'll be doing is we can actually conduct a fitness test to gauge your upper body strength and to be able to get a scale of where you are at, and then we can also develop a program to work on that and to find how you're going. Okay, so now we're going to go through some medical questions. Do you have any existing illnesses, injury or medical condition that may affect your ability to exercise?
I have a knee problem. My right knee plays up a lot with some exercises, because I used to do a fair bit of exercises.
Yep.
And I found that lunges are the most painful for it.
Okay.
So I try to stay away from lunges.
Yep.
I used to run marathons, and I think that's what has how I hurt my knee.
Yep. Yep. So with your knee problem, do you know your limitations with that? So
Yes.
you know when it's starting to feel sore and you know when to stop and stuff like that. Do you have any kind of braces or anything that you wear?
I usually wear a knee guard.
A knee guard, okay. So at all through our session today, it feels uncomfortable or starts hurting, please let me know and we'll stop.
Okay.
But yeah, so just let me know. Have you had any surgery in the past 12 months?
No.
No. Are you on any medication?
No.
No. Has your doctor ever told you that you have a heart condition or have ever suffered a stroke?
No.
No. Do you experience unexplained pains or tightness in your chest? No. Do you ever experience shortness of breath during, before or during or after the exercise?
No.
Do you ever feel faint or have spells of dizziness during exercise?
I do have low blood pressure.
All right.
But if I have snacks
Oh,
while
yes.
I'm like exercising or doing netball or anything like that, I find that I can control it a bit
Yep.
better.
And any particular exercises that so like getting up and down too quickly and all of that stuff that may make you a bit dizzy?
Mostly if I've been exercising for a long time without being able to stop for snacks or water or anything, I get a little bit dizzy. But
okay, so just ensuring that you have something before you come and then straight after.
Yep.
Do you suffer from asthma?
No.
No. Do you suffer from diabetes or high blood pressure?
No.
No. All right. So what we will do is we will get into our first fitness test, and then from there I'll explain it to you, and then we can go on to our strength and cardio exercises. So awesome, let's get started. So after we've just performed that, went through our pre-exercise questionnaire, it was noted in there about your knee injury. So obviously today with our session I'm going to make sure that I accommodate your knee as best as I possibly can, and if at all you feel uncomfortable, please do let me know.
Yep.
So in your pre-exercise questionnaire, you let me know about you're wanting to build your upper body strength. So this fitness test that we'll be performing today is a push-up test, which is going to gauge your upper body strength as well as your muscular endurance. So first of all, what I'm going to get you to do is you're going to perform as many push-ups as you possibly can, to the rate of exhaustion or until you lack technique. Which I'll be monitoring throughout the test. And then after that we're going to have a look at how many you do, and I've got the norms chart here which I'm going to refer to so you can see where you stand.
Yep.
And then in 4 to 6 weeks we can retest this, and then with the program that I'll be doing for you, see if it is developing and working your upper body strength, and then we can gauge from there. Yep. So today I'll show you firstly what we're going to do, just so you have an idea. So I've got the secondary mat here just for your knees, just for a bit of support for your knee. So what you're going to do is you're going to get down onto your knees. You're going to stretch out forward, making sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, and you're going to want to make sure that you're slightly looking ahead and you've got that straight neutral spine. So you want a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. And then what you're going to do is you're going to be coming down and pushing up. And you're just going to be doing this as many times as you possibly can, remembering to breathe out on the effort. Okay? So when you're coming down, you can breathe in. So breathing in and breathing out.
Okay.
All right.
Can I just show you one so you can tell me if I'm doing it okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not too confident on the push-up area.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem at all. Alright, so awesome, thank you for showing me that. Now what I'm going to get you to do is, so just when you were doing that push-up, you didn't quite have a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. So what I'll get you to do is I'll get you to bring your hands slightly forward, and then bring that, now engage that core and suck that belly to your spine, and then feet down, and then push down.
So we go with our whole body?
Yes, so you're making sure that you've got a straight line. That's perfect. Okay. Awesome. Alright, so
does that count?
you'd like it to, but I'm not going to. So what I'm going to do is, I apologise, I try my hardest to talk and count at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to note it down here as you're doing it, okay? And I'm just going to keep an eye on your form, so you just do as many as you possibly can.
Okay.
Alright, so
Do
when
I
you're ready.
Do I have to do it continuously? Like, can I have a break at the top? Or?
So as continuous as you possibly can, okay? So this is just working out how much upper body core strength you have.
Okay.
Awesome.
So do I just start?
Yep, just start. 1. Awesome. That is fantastic work. Awesome work, Tina.
I'm already getting tired.
That's fine. This is just to help gauge where you are at, and it will give us a goal to work to. Awesome. Keep going. Just until you can't do any more. Good breathing. Breathe out on the effort.
I don't think I can
That's
do
fine.
anymore.
That's fine. So that was awesome, Tina.
Thank you.
That was amazing. So you actually did 17 push-ups.
Oh, did I?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes. So I have the norms sheet here, which I'll just show you. So for your age group, you did 17, so we've got the average, which is 12 to 22. So that's awesome, and that definitely gives us a goal to work on for your program. So
Awesome.
fantastic, awesome work.
I think I did a bit better than I thought I was going to. So
No, you did great.
Good.
Well done. Okay, so our first strength exercise that we have today is our dumbbell chest fly. So I'm going to demonstrate for you the exercise first. So remembering when we pick up any weights, no matter how heavy or light, that we are always getting into a squat position and picking them up. We don't want to be bending over facing our back down, as it can have the potential to cause injury. Alright, so what we're going to do is you're going to lie flat on your back on the bench. Now you're wanting to manoeuvre so that your feet are flat on the floor and knees at a 90-degree angle. If you need some support, you can place your feet up on here. So what we're going to do is you're going to keep your elbows bent. You're going to lower them down to parallel with the floor, and then you're going to bring them straight up, ensuring that you're not locking in those elbows at the top, just making sure that they're bent, and you're just going to do this for 10 repetitions. Then you're going to bring it back to the chest, and then I'll also be spotting you while you're doing the exercise. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
All right. Alright, awesome. Here you go. Now I'm just going to be standing behind you and I'm just going to be spotting. If at all you feel uncomfortable or anything, please let me know.
How's my lower back having my feet down? Is it okay if I have it?
Yeah, so if that's hurting you, putting too much pressure on there, just put
this,
your feet.
this here doesn't hurt. So.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So you're just wanting to raise up, yep, making sure that you've slightly got your elbows bent, and then lower down. That's it. So you're just wanting to make sure that you're right if I touch you.
Yep.
So when you lower down, so I just want you to lower down, and then lowering down parallel, and then up again. So you're wanting to make sure that you're holding them there. So you're wanting to do 10. Yep.
Oh, one is a lot quicker than the other, sorry.
That's fine. 4, awesome work. 5, you've only got 5 more to go. That's it.
My arms are shaky after all the push-ups.
So they're starting to get fatigued.
Yes.
So at all of this starting to get too heavy, please let me know. So we'll just do 2 more. Alright, so we'll do 1 more. Remembering to breathe, so you want to be exhaling on the effort. Alright. Awesome. Fantastic. So that there,
chest a lot.
yeah, so that there is actually working our pectoral muscles, and you're actually really opening up that chest. It's also working our shoulders, so we've got our deltoids in there that we're working,
Yep.
and our back.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really, really good for opening that chest up and really strengthening that back and chest.
Awesome.
Awesome, you did great.
Thank you.
Okay, so for this next exercise, we are now going to do the single arm row. So this will be 10 repetitions on either side. Now with your repetitions, we're wanting to have a 60 to 75% exertion rate. So with this, you can imagine a tank, and imagine a tank half full, which is 50%. So we're wanting to do 60 to 75%. So you're wanting just that teeny bit more than halfway. So with this exercise, what we'll be doing is I'll get you to squat down and pick up your weight. We're going to scissor the legs. So whichever leg you want to do forward first, whatever you're comfortable with, making sure that that back leg is slightly bent as well as your front leg, ensuring that your chest is facing down a little bit to the ground, making sure when you're pulling this weight up, you're not pulling it out like this. You're wanting to pull your elbow as close to your body as you possibly can and bringing it up towards the sky, and then you're lowering it down. So we don't want you dropping it down like this because that can cause potential issues in your shoulder. Yep. So we're just literally pulling it up and down. Remembering to breathe and exhale on the effort.
Okay.
Then we will be swapping over arms, and exactly the same thing, ensuring that there is weight on both feet to keep you stable, and then just up and down. So, any questions on that one?
No.
No? Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to place this down on there for you. If you want to get into your position, that's it. Perfect pick up position.
So opposite hand, do I hold it in?
Yes, so you'll be holding in the hand that is opposite to your forward leg.
Okay.
Yes. So, and then you're just wanting to slightly bend at that back knee. Yep. Just so you're comfortable. Perfect. And you're just wanting to do 10 reps each side. So if you want to count your 10 reps, that's 3. And keep going. Awesome. So in this exercise, the muscles that we are targeting is the latissimus dorsi, which is our diamond in our back along the side of yours. So that's 10. Awesome. Well done. You're smashing through them. So onto your next side. So ensuring that you have weight on both feet so that you're stable, and remembering to breathe through it. So we've got the latissimus dorsi. We also have our biceps, which are working as we're pulling the muscle up. Our shoulders with our deltoids, and also if you can feel just a teeny bit in the trapezius on your back. But that's awesome form. Good work. And like that, you've got your hand there, just stabilising yourself as well. Good work. And you're doing this easy with the weight, so might even be able to increase the weight as we go.
Oh goodness.
Fantastic, that was awesome. Really, really good work. Okay, so for our final strength exercise today, we have the barbell squat. So now with your knee, please do let me know if it is uncomfortable for you at all and we can stop. I haven't put any weights or anything on this today, just to gauge how you are with your squats and how you are with your knee, and then just to be able to have a rate of how you're going. So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate what we're doing. So standing in a normal squat stance, remembering whenever you pick anything up weighted wise that you always do get into a squat before you pick it up. So what you would do is standing normal, down into a squat, you're wanting to grab it in an overhead grip, and then you're just wanting to pick it up and then lift it up and over your head and bring it down to the middle, in between your shoulder blades, and you're wanting it to rest there. So you don't want it resting up on your neck, because that's going to have a potential to cause injury. So you're just wanting it in between your shoulder blades, and what you're going to do is you're going to go into a normal squat and then straight back up. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate for you. So you're going into a squat and straight back up. And you're just going to do this for 10 repetitions. Ensuring that when you do get to the top, so when you're going down, making sure that your knees aren't going over your toes. So making sure you're coming down, your bottom's back, back straight, straight up, and you're squeezing your glutes when you get to the top. Alright, so I'm just going to put that down. Is there any questions?
And your glutes, is that
Yes.
your bum?
So that is your bottom muscles.
Okay, so I just squeeze my bum together.
Yep, so basically just squeeze it tight. So if you want to give it a go now, so just coming down into a squat, and then when you get to the top, squeeze.
Oh, yeah,
You feel that?
That works. Especially after netball last night.
I know, this will be working, getting a bit sore. Alright, so making sure that you're bending down before you pick up the weight and putting it up behind your shoulder blades. Alright, good work. So just making sure that's perfect. Awesome. Alright,
I'm
so
not
you
sure
just
if I'll be
want
able to do 10.
That's alright, that's fine. Just do as many as you can.
Okay.
And remembering to exhale on the effort.
Okay.
Good breathing. Well done. That's awesome. Good work, Tina. And how's that going?
Good.
Good?
I can feel my knee crunching a little bit, but there's no pain whatsoever.
Okay.
So
Alright.
I usually feel a crunch.
Yep. Oh, well, okay, that's good that you don't. So what I'll get you to do is maybe just slightly make sure your feet are forward, your toes are pointing forward, and really sitting back in that squat, just to take the pressure off that knee. How's that?
That's better.
That's better.
I think
Okay.
maybe my toes might have been out. I'm not sure.
Yep, that's fine. Sometimes that happens. sometimes your toes just automatically do go slightly a bit out. So this is where obviously we're focusing on the form and making sure that our toes are pointing directly in front. But you're doing awesome. So this exercise is basically targeting our quadriceps and our glutes, which is our bottom. So making sure that when you get to the top, you're squeezing that butt and you should feel it in there.
Oh yes, I'm feeling it all right.
Remembering to breathe, obviously. You're doing awesome. This is amazing for your first time. And then our secondary muscles also working our hamstrings and our calves. But the main two primary muscles are quadriceps and glutes.
Yep.
So you're doing awesome. So just 10 of these, and then we can move on to our awesome cardio. That was fantastic, Tina. That was awesome. Okay, so I just have my timer with me at the moment because I'm going to time you on doing the exercises.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do our cardio exercises. Now, I love cardio. Do you like doing cardio?
Yeah, I think so.
I bet Neville's a lot of cardio.
Yes, I like cardio, but I don't think I can handle a long session of cardio.
Yep.
So I have a mummy bladder, so
That's fine. All right. Well, so today we'll be doing the rower and the cycling. So I'll get you to do 3 minutes on each, and then I'm going to explain the exercises to you.
Oh, that's
So what I will do is I will show you how to do the rower. So you're just wanting to sit down. Now we have straps here for your feet to strap into.
Yep.
This is for safety wise, so that your feet don't slip out and can have the potential to cause injury. So what I will do is I've got it set on 4. Okay, so that's 4, that's the intensity that it's set at. Now what you want to do is be sitting on your little bottom pad, grabbing your rower, and then what you're going to be doing is you're just going to be out stretching and in. So you're wanting to be doing this at a 60 to 75% exertion rate, again, so think of the tank. And remembering to exhale on the effort, because a lot of the times we forget to breathe. So when you're doing this, you're concentrating on pulling this and you're concentrating on your legs. So remembering you're exhaling, so breathing in, breathing out.
okay.
And really pulling that to your chest. Is there any questions on that one, Tina?
So do I push with my legs and then pull with my arms? Or
Yes.
do I...
So what you're going to do is you're going to be wanting to do it in the same motion. So you're
Okay.
going to be pulling as you're pushing.
Okay.
And therefore getting a whole body workout.
Okay.
So does that answer your question? Awesome. All right. So what we'll do is I'm going to time you doing that for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to give you a rest in between that, explaining how to do the bicycle. So hopefully that'll get your heart rate down and ready for the next cardio exercise. All right. So you're wanting to make sure that those feet are strapped in. Awesome. And we've got it on the 4 intensity. So at all you feel like it's getting too much, we can just modify that down.
Yep.
Yeah, and let me know how your knee goes doing this as well.
Okay. Yep.
All right, so, and go. All right, we want to start. Awesome. So remembering to breathe through this, so exhaling on the effort. Good work. Perfect. That's awesome. You're doing awesome.
Oh, it is a whole body exercise, isn't it?
It is. It does. It's working our whole body, and it's also developing our aerobic endurance and fitness.
Yep.
So this is going to help you if you're wanting to do any 5K runs or anything of that kind. This is going to help your fitness for that. So it's going to build it up progressionally.
And this isn't hurting my knee at all.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really good to know. You're doing wonderful. Almost a minute down. Good work.
Wow. I
So
thought
that-
it was just going to be legs and arms, but my bum's feeling it, my core's feeling it.
That's awesome. That's what we want working in this cardio. We want a whole body exercise. But you're doing wonderful. That's awesome. So you're already a minute down, Tina. Awesome work. That's fantastic. And you've really got good form in pulling that row back to your chest.
I'm not sure I can do it for 3 minutes.
Feeling that heart rate up.
Yes. I sure am.
So your heart rate's obviously coming up as you're heart is trying to pump the body to get to all those muscles that you're engaging at the moment.
Okay.
So it's trying to get as much blood as it possibly can to all of those muscles that you're working at the moment. So, alright, so I'm going to get you to stop it at 2 minutes, okay? So you've got 15 seconds, so I want you to push as much as you can, 60 to 75%. Making sure you're giving it as much as you can. You've got 10 seconds. 8, 7. Good work, push, push, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. High five. That is awesome. Good work.
I like that exercise. It's good.
Do you feel your whole body's worked?
I do actually.
Yep.
I do.
Yep.
It's good.
Awesome. All right, so I'll get you just to stand up and just keep walking around. So you don't want to let your body get too cool. So before we get to our next exercise, so you want to make sure you're taking a few deep breaths in while I explain it, but just keep that body moving. So now we're moving on to our bike, which is targeting our legs, but it's also building up our cardio and our endurance.
Okay.
So it's still going to get that heart rate pumping, and it's still definitely going to work our body. So with these, again, you've got straps, making sure that you're strapped in, just so that your feet don't come out. It is a bit tricky. If you need some help, just let me know and I can help you. Alright, so now we will stick the resistance onto 2. If you need to go down lower, let me know, we'll go down lower. But what I'm going to get you to do is I want you to have that nice open chest, so making sure that you're looking forward, and then what I want you to do is I just want you to ride. I want you to just go, 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 go. So with this exercise, I'm going to limit it to 2 minutes again. See how you're going, see how you're feeling. Let me know if there's any pressure on your knees. And yeah, we'll get going and perform this exercise. Alright. I'll just grab my timer. Alright. Shut them in. Do you need that one a little bit? Awesome. Fantastic. All right, so what we're going to do, so let me know if the intensity is too much or if it gets any issues on your, any trouble on your knees. All right, and we'll go. Good work. So remembering to look forward and take those deep breaths in. That's it. Perfect. Big breaths in and big breaths out. So sometimes we do forget to breathe. I know I do when I'm exercising. Just making sure that when you are doing it, if you find that you're holding your breath, just remember to be big breath in, big breath out. So this should definitely be working your leg muscles, that's for sure, in your quads, and you might even be feeling it in your glutes as well. Yeah. All right, so you've almost done 40 seconds. Awesome. So how are you feeling?
Good.
Good? Good.
I don't feel like this is much pressure on my knee either.
That's good. That's awesome. Awesome to know.
So far I found it's really only just the lunges
Yep.
that have the problem. So
Yep. Well, I'll ensure that in our programs and that we don't put any lunges in, and then just whatever exercises that do involve your knee, we'll just monitor, and I'll monitor how you're going with them.
Yep.
But I know you're doing awesome. Oh, already a minute down. Fantastic.
Good, because my legs are hurting.
Feeling the burn.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome, awesome.
This looked so easy when you were doing it.
So you'll be feeling that heart rate getting up.
Yeah.
Awesome. That blood is going to be pumping through your body. Oh, so you've only got 30 seconds to go. So push, push, push. Good work. Remembering to breathe. All right, you've got 10 seconds to go. Keep going. You're doing awesome, Tina. Awesome work.
Oh my goodness. 10 seconds feels like a long time.
All right, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome, team. That is fantastic. You've
Thank
done
you.
awesome. Do you feel your heart rate's pumping?
Yes, my bum is sore.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to keep walking around, and then we're going to go on to our next exercises, which is innovative cardio. And it's one of my favourites, actually. It's boxing. So,
okay.
Yeah, so we'll get on to that next. Awesome. Okay, now we're going on to our innovative cardio. So this is another exercise that's going to work our whole body. It's going to get our heart rate pumping and get that cardio going. So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pads on, and what I'll get you to do is we're just going to do a few left-right jabs, and then I'll get you to do uppercuts. So with the left-right jab, you're wanting to make sure you've got a nice stance, nice comfortable stance, and then you're just coming across, fully extending that arm, and then to the next arm. And I'll have the pads, so you'll just be aiming for the middle of the pads, and then after that we'll go into some undercuts. So it'll just be underneath, so you're wanting to do these a bit slower, and then we'll go into a fast pace. So just until you get your form and technique, and then I might throw something a little bit trickier in there for you.
Oh my goodness, okay.
So,
making it interesting.
Keeping you on your toes. Yeah, so just making sure that you're aiming for the middle of the pads. And
I was going to say, I apologise if I ate this.
No, that's okay.
I will
That's
try
okay.
not to.
So I'm just going to get you to start with left-right jabs. So just left, right. Just slow to start off with. Yep. Good work.
Slow?
Yep, slow to start off with.
Slow enough?
Yep. And then we'll speed up just so I can see your technique and your form. And that's awesome. You've got some power behind those punches. All right, so I'll get you to speed it up. Wow. Now this is going to be good for your upper body strength as well. So this will be definitely working it, and I think you've got lots of it.
This is actually like, will probably be a really good exercise to get all your stress out with too.
It will, yes. It's perfect for that. It's
Perfect for a mummy who has a lot of stress.
Alright, so now I'm going to get you to stop, and I'm going to get you to do some undercuts. So I'm just going to hold the pads up here, and then what I'm going to get you to do is just start off slow, and I'm just going to get you to do undercuts. Alright. Good work. That's it. Alright, so now you can fasten that up a bit. That's it. Do your stance. Whoa, look at that power. You are awesome. You have a lot of strength in the upper arms. Or rather, a lot of stress. Alright, so do 10 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now with this one, I want you to use your, so this is for your top torso. So what I want you to do is I just want you to swing. So you're wanting to swing and punch to that side. So I'm going to hold the pads out to the side like this, and I want you to swing, but just using this upper body torso. So you're not wanting to twist your whole body, you're wanting to just literally swing at your upper body, okay, with that torso. So just slowly. Yep. Yep. Good work. So keeping that body straight and then just swinging at the torso. That's it. Now go a little bit faster.
Oh, that hurts my belly. Does this mean I'm going to get six-pack?
Oh, it's working on it. Cardio is really good for that as well. So this is twisting at your torso. So you're going to be working all of your obliques and those ab muscles. That core section. All right. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome.
Cool.
Fantastic. You're awesome at boxing.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy that?
I do enjoy that actually. That was nice.
That's good. Awesome work. All right, we'll move on to our stretches next. All right, so now we're just going to do some stretching to cool down from the session. So because we've worked a lot of chest muscles and back muscles, we're going to do a chest stretch today. So what I get you to do, stand at a comfortable position. Usually this comfortable is feet hip width apart. I want you to open up your chest out, making sure your arms are parallel with the ground. So you don't want them down here. You're wanting them, that's perfect, parallel with the ground. And all you're going to be doing is you're going to be pushing back as far as you can go.
Wow.
So you should be feeling that in your chest as well as your shoulders, and you don't mind if I touch you?
No, you're right.
And here behind in your trapezius. So
That's where I'm feeling it.
yeah, awesome. So you're wanting to hold these stretches for at least 10 to 20 seconds, just to ensure you get that nice long stretch. And these are called static stretches. So for warm-ups, we do dynamic stretches, and for cool-downs, we do static stretches. So you're feeling that? That's awesome.
Yes, I'm feeling that alright.
Alright. Okay.
It looks so simple, I can think it's not going to do much.
Alright,
but
so
I should do it.
it definitely works. So just get you to just move your arms out just to make sure that it's not any stiff. to our next stretch. So what I'll get you to do is I'll demonstrate for you first, just so you can have a look, and then we'll do it together. So I'll get you to lie down on your back and have your knees up. Okay, so now with this stretch, we're going to alternate legs. So whichever one you're comfortable with doing first, what I'll get you to do is I'll get you to lift, say your right leg first and put it up on top of your neck, so your ankle on top of your knee. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place your hand on your elevated knee, and you're going to just slightly put some pressure on it. Okay? And then we're going to do that on either legs. So if you want to do that, and I'll just watch. Yep.
It's not really like
Not stretching.
Like,
Alright. So with this exercise, yeah, no, that's fine. With this exercise, to make it a bit more intense to be able to feel those stretches, what you can do is with that leg, so with the leg that's stationary on the ground, you grab both hands and reach behind your knee, and then pull in as close as you can to your body. Are you feeling that?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you should be feeling that in your glutes and your quadriceps. Definitely the key point that we're stretching there. And you can also feel it in your hamstrings on that exercise.
I can feel it in my bum as well.
Yes, definitely. So that's definitely a good stretch, pulling it closer, all over lower body stretch. So holding that for 10 to 20 seconds and then alternating on your next leg. Yep. That's it. That's perfect. And how are you feeling with that? Is stretching it well enough?
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And not too much pressure on your knee or anything?
No.
No? That's fantastic. And when you can pull it in really, really close, the closer you pull it, the more of a stretch. So now that I've finished performing my practical simulation assessment, I will be talking about the special populations considerations. So the first one I'll be talking about is high blood pressure. Now, if I had a client with high blood pressure, I would ensure that before performing any exercises that they receive a clearance from their GP or allied health professional to ensure that they're cleared for the session. Exercising for high blood pressure is really important, and it's actually really good for the clients with high blood pressure. It will help manage and actually lower the blood pressure. But before commencing any exercise, I would ensure that my client fully understands the session plan for the day. In the session, I would modify the up-down motions and any movements that involve lifting weights above the client's head. The reasoning for this is because these movements can actually increase the blood pressure and can cause the client to become dizzy, lightheaded, and also might even induce chest pain. Cardio exercises that target the aerobic system are fantastic for high blood pressure. These exercises are walking, running, swimming, or even boxing, and they are fantastic for people with special populations of high blood pressure. The next one I'm going to talk about today is lower back pain. So if I had a client who was experiencing lower back pain, firstly I would tell my client to rest. However, if this is a recurring problem, it may not be an option for them. If it is the case, I would ensure that we do a number of stretches before performing any exercises and making sure that the client is properly warmed up. There may be limitations to what exercises a client can perform with lower back pain. This may be that they aren't able to use a lot of heavy weights, and ensuring that they are in a correct stance position when using weights, and any form of movement that puts pressure on the lower back. So this may include some body weight exercises such as doing a bridge hold. Also, instead of using high intensity jerking movements that require a lot of balance and stability, I would do movements on the shins where a client works specific muscles and actually takes the pressure off the lower back affected area. My last special populations is the knee injury. So as you would have seen today in my practical assessment, the client I had today, Tina, actually did have a knee injury. So with this, it provides some limitations with the movements and exercises that can be performed. So her knee injury today could not allow her to do lunges. So making sure that I'm not putting into the exercise plan any exercises or movements that she can't do or that can have the potential to make that injury worse. So today, an example of this is today there could have been bodyweight lunges, but instead she can do squat movements. So we've changed it to a barbell squat, and that was fine, ensuring that she had perfect form and correct technique using this. So if I had a client with knee injury, I would make sure that I explain every exercise, put the exercises in that they are able to do and not limited to do. I would also offer modifications for my client if they are unable to perform a certain move, ensure that they do have something else there to do. Also with the knee injuries, a really good thing is watching on your client's progress, making sure that you are gauging on their facial cues and body movement cues. So if you do see that they are starting to pull facial cues of hurt or pain, I will obviously gauge on that and make sure that they either stop or we modify the exercise. And I'll always make sure that I'm watching and ensuring correct form and technique.